It's EDS Awareness Month, and sometimes that means we can look at things in a downward angle as we try and convince the world how sick we really are. But I wanted to get some wonderful zebras together to share some positive experiences of living with EDS. So their favourite thing about living with EDS, or an amazing achievement that they've continued to do despite having this condition.
I think my favourite thing about having EDS is just the amount of fun that you can have. It's like, you know, there's no greater feeling than bombing down a hill in a wheelchair, or being in a shop and standing up out of your wheelchair to reach something off the top shelf and handing it to the lady next to you and her face just kind of dropping to the floor because she just presumed you couldn't walk. It's just having a laugh, having a great time, and meeting other people with EDS. Some of my closest friends are either have EDS or know people that have EDS, and that's the friendships that you can form are just... EDS is a great friends.
My favourite thing about having EDS is that, one, it's rare, so you're rare basically. Two, no one normally has about 40 dislocations a day, so that's an achievement, I guess. 3, you've got something different about you that like singles you out, because even though lots of other people have EDS, not one person is the same.
Bit of a cliche, but probably the flexibility, because it just offers you that bit more, I guess. So it's just good, especially because I dance, so that's always been quite an enjoyable thing, to be able to be a bit more flexible than the other girls, I guess. I'm not like hugely more flexible, but I suppose that would be the only one thing that's fun, I suppose, about the condition.
And in answer to the question, which is what is my proudest achievement despite living with Ehlers Danlos Syndrome, and that is being able to share all of my passions for things creative over on the old internets. And so I make videos to help change people's perceptions of Ehlers Danlos Syndrome and to raise awareness too for those people new to the condition. I'm also a keen actor and musician, and so I spend a lot of time trying to get more people with disabilities into the arts and get more recognition for those living with hidden disabilities especially. And I like making geeky videos on my YouTube channel and Twitch channel for people to enjoy and laugh at. Now, I was meant to wear something zebra striped for this video, however, it didn't quite work because I tried to do zebra striped hair and I've got to live with this bonnet for a bit. Hey ho, anyway. Just because you have Ehlers Danlos Syndrome doesn't mean you can't achieve great things, and despite the times when you have the dislocation or two, it's not the end of the world. So stay strong, people.
My top tip for living with EDS is physical therapy. It has honestly saved and changed my life. On that note, my favorite thing about EDS, well, there's not a lot, but it's probably all of the muscle tone that I've gained and like worked really hard for. And also all of the physical therapists and occupational therapists that I've met, because, like I said, they have literally saved my life.
Kind of my favourite thing about EDS is that I can, like, bend. I can do zips up and fake tan my back without anyone's help.
I would say the community and the people you meet through having EDS. Like, I met Jess and now she's one of my best friends.
Yeah, I totally agree. Of course, I met Shannon and now she's one of my best friends. And also, just sort of like how you learn to keep going when things get tough and we continue doing things when other people wouldn't.
Una delle cose che mi piace dell'Ehlers Danlos, beh, sicuramente il sollievo che si prova ogni mattina quando si fa cric, crack, con le articolazioni, con tutti I rumori che possiamo fare che poi ci danno sollievo.
My favourite thing about having EDS is probably that I have never broken a bone because I dislocate everything.
My favourite thing about EDS has to be the community that I have found. I would not be able to do it without the lovely people I have met, and some of these lovely people I've met I'm now in regular contact with and are some of my, best friends. It's really lovely to have that community for support and just have a bit of a chat. If you're not involved in this community, drop me a message, drop me an email. All the info's in the description, because I'd love to hear from you, and I love creating this nice little world where we can all support one another.
My proudest moment despite EDS would be graduating from university and being able to work as an osteopath. Hopefully EDS has given me more empathy for people and more experience and helped me become a better osteopath.
My proudest moment was winning a game of bowling despite being the only one that had dislocating shoulders and subluxing wrists.
I'm really proud that I'm doing a degree, and even though I'm only doing it part-time and it's going to take me longer than the average person, I'm just still really proud of myself for doing that. I'm kind of proud of everything I do, to be honest. I'm just proud of not giving up.
I think the favourite thing is the fact that I am at university. I'm actually studying to be a nurse, so I think that's the proudest thing that I've achieved so far, is that I'm nearly qualified, so hopefully I will be working in the NHS soon, so that's quite exciting, and I've been able to manage it. Like, my symptoms started whilst I was at uni, and I've actually been able to come through and been able to do my assignments and go on placement, and I've managed with my symptoms, which is really, really exciting for me, and I'm really proud of myself for that.
My proudest moment despite EDS is almost completing my first year of university in law. I was supposed to be a nurse, and so doing law was not something that I ever really considered or saw myself doing, so I'm really excited for the first time since I got sick to look forward to my future, and that means a lot to me.
I think the biggest achievement that I've had since being diagnosed, apart from the diagnosis itself, that is a complete achievement in itself, is getting back to uni and, you know, doing what I was doing before I got sick. But also recently I've started to play sport again, which I absolutely love, and is, I hope, going to help strengthen my joints to a point where they'll fall out a little bit less.
I'm not sure that I've got a favourite thing about EDS, not now I'm older. When I was younger, it was probably doing party tricks, which obviously I now know I shouldn't have done. But in recent years, my proudest things are obviously having my 3 children. But beyond that, recently I was invited back to my old school to speak at their commemoration service about diversity and equality. I was actually there to talk about being one of the first girls at the school. We all started there 40 years ago, and I managed to stand up on a stage and stay standing up, which a lot of you will understand, with my husband off stage with a wheelchair, and spoke to a theatre full of youngsters from the school, and I was very proud to be able to do so.
My proudest moment with EDS would be my acceptance that this condition isn't going to improve. It might not get worse, considering what I do with my self-benefits, so my sport, my diet, things like that, things that I can really change to make my symptoms slow down. But coming to terms with the fact that this is a chronic disorder, you will not get better. You were born with this, and bottom line is you can stop it getting worse, but you can't stop having this condition. It's a really difficult hurdle to come over, and there's a lot of people that are really stuck in that grief episode and can't get past the fact that this is what they've got to live with. And I think that's my strongest moment, accepting that it might not get better, but I can do the best with what I have. And since I've accepted that that is my outcome, I've done much more with my life than I did before that. I've accepted that maybe my joints aren't up to the standard that I would want them. I dislocate every day, and I could live with that. Or I could go to the gym, lift weights, make my muscles stronger, and maybe have less dislocations a day. And it's not perfect. I'll still need the surgery that the regular person won't need. but it makes a difference to me in my mental state, and it's really difficult reaching a mental state where you're content with where you're at.
My silver lining about EDS is that it forced me to slow down and to start realizing what was important to me, to start figuring out who I was, to start embracing myself and allowing myself to be me, to live a life that I genuinely love, and to be authentic to myself and no longer be trying to hit some arbitrary markings that somebody thinks I need to do, and not worry about other people's perception of me, and instead just be a genuinely happy, kind person. And that doesn't mean it's not hard. That doesn't mean that there are not painful days or weeks and that it's not dark. And yes, I do all of this amidst a gamut of doctor's appointments and several comorbid conditions that come along with my EDS. And it sucks, and it's really, really, really hard some days. But this is my life. This is the life I was given. This was the life I was always going to live. And if all I can do in any given day is find my joy, then that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to find out more about any of the people in this video or any of the organisations that I've mentioned, all of the information is going to be down in the description below. It would mean so much to us if you could share it to help us spread more awareness. Thank you for watching.